Good morning, Yamhill County.
Good morning, Kyle. This is Ray with To the Root of It.
Yes.
And Kyle.
Oh my gosh, barely Kyle, right?
Barely Kyle. There you are.
But we've got that snow coming down here in Yamhill County. It's pretty much everywhere, right? I mean, there's no avoiding it.
No, it goes from like Tacoma to Redding.
I am looking at this map, and it's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's there ain't nobody missing out on this.
And every time I turn on the news, somebody is saying, if it's at all possible, don't get on the roads. Stay off of the roads.
Well, stay out of the way of the snowplows. They'll have it all, cleaned up.
It takes a long time for 2 snowplows to get the entire state of Oregon, apparently.
Yeah. Yamhill has a road grader.
Yeah, I did actually.
And bless his heart for being out there too.
All of them, I agree.
Yeah.
I actually tipped the gas attendant yesterday because it was blizzarding out there, but I was empty on gas, and so thankful that the one store in town was open because it was really helpful. So yeah, all the people that are actually braving the weather out there to go to work, I commend you, like us, like you, Ray.
Yeah.
For instance, you.
God love him.
How was your drive in here into McMinnville?
This morning?
Yes, this morning.
Oh, it's fun. The beast is just like an old English bulldog, that one on the mattress commercial. It just kind of wallers around the road,
I
idles along.
envy you so much. I have the white knuckle drive.
No.
I actually was trying to be polite and get out of the way of a Jeep that was driving behind me, and I just wanted to pull over for a little bit because I saw a little side road that I could then get back on, and I was just trying to be polite because those people that have those 4-wheel vehicles, like yourself even, but more importantly, that the Jeeps, this is what they live for. This is like you bought that vehicle for this moment in time, and to be stuck behind an ill-prepared rear-wheel driving person, it's just like, not today.
I don't let my driver angst get to me anymore. I think about that poor little person with the 4 kids in the car and the no chains, and and I'm going, man, I hope you get home from Winco,
Oh, I know. And it is sad but the vehicles that I do see out there, thankfully, they all seem to be high above the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my ride in here, so it ended up taking me back behind the airport, if you know where that is.
Yeah.
The Evergreen South Farm, whatever. It's a bad enough road when there isn't, a foot of snow on top of it, caked in ice, because it's not a really well kept road, so it's potholes all over the place. But they're not there today. They're iced in, and nobody was thankfully on the road because there were a few fishtail moments.
Yeah.
But I grew up in this kind of weather, and this is I can do this. I can drive in this. This is where I learned how to drive, is in weather just like this.
I took my daughters when we lived in Cascade Locks. I took them over to the school parking lot in the middle of the winter when they were both learning to drive, and let them cut cookies in the snow and try to stop it before they got to the big pile in the corner. They all had to put on their chains in the garage before they were allowed to drive.
Wow, that is not something that we had to do.
No.
Was put on our chains, because in Colorado it can snow like this, but the roads are oddly enough maintained, and they have plows that come by and remove the snow, and they drop down some chemicals and some sand or something like that, and you can drive on it. But yes, learning to drive in this, we go to the biggest parking lot that we could find and just flip that emergency brake and just spin
Community
around.
colleges were great for that.
Exactly. Ours was a public high school, which was a big enough lot. But yeah, and so I can drive on this if I get a little fishtail going.
Yeah.
I can get out of it. Thankfully,
A lot of
sometimes.
kids don't get that.
No, this is scary time. So really, truly, if you don't have to be out there, don't be there.
Yeah.
But we had important information about blackberries to give.
and by golly, we'll get around to them.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah,
though.
we're going to discuss caneberries today.
Yes, caneberries.
Caneberries as opposed to bushberries.
I'm sure that we'll talk about the difference.
Well, yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah, but we're just talking about the caneberries today, and there's hundreds of them.
Yeah.
I was very interested to find out that there was like 375 varieties of blackberry. Not just the Himalayas that are coming over from the backyard.
Doesn't everybody love those until you tell them, well, yeah, they're choking the forests?
Yeah. I had a nice patch over behind my other house, though, where I took and groomed it and cut the leaders off each year so we had plenty of berries. And I could back the pickup right up, put the tailgate down and back right up to the bush. And all the grandkids could get up there and pick berries without getting really bad scratched.
Great.
Oh, it was a wonderful system.
Yeah, and that's really important, but you were propagating an invasive species, right?
Keeping it under control.
Oh, controlling it.
Yeah, controlling it, grooming it.
Right, because birds are going to fly and eat.
Well,
the
yeah, I
berry,
had
and
my
they're
bird
gonna go-
feeder right there,
Yeah,
too. So,
perfect.
it was, like,
job,
yeah,
great job.
there'd be like 300 chickadees in there.
Yep.
Chirping, twittering, and
Dispersing
pooping
seeds.
on the bird,
Right,
on the
exactly.
porch railing.
Exactly.
Yeah, bless their little hearts. Yeah, it was fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we must say that we took a ruler out there,
Yeah,
and
we
it's about
actually went
7.5 inches in the flattest of the areas,
Yeah.
but we've got snow drifts that are
What, 2.5 feet tall.
My gosh.
They're kind of cute. They,
Right.
yeah, they.
Well, I went last night to go and close the chicken coop up, and I thought that I could just slip on a pair of shoes, and
Oh, that'd have been fun to watch.
right, and so they were loosely on my feet, like flip-flops or sandals, and I got 3 steps out into it, and I lost one, and then by the time I get to the chicken coop, there's just so much snow inside of the shoe and
Yeah.
inside of my sock, and wow, it was a big old mess because I have been here for 4 years in this state, and this hasn't happened. This really hasn't happened.
Oh, you missed the '96 Siberian
Oh,
blizzard or
by a
whatever the heck
decade.
it was. Yeah. In 2006, I think it was, we had another one where we had like 16 inches in my driveway.
Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago, was it? But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, about every 5 years apparently we got to go through this.
Yeah. And so we were talking that the wheat crop, this is good.
Well, it was long, dry fall and winter up to here.
Right.
So the winter wheats that they plant out around Carlton and Yamhill area, they were only up about maybe 2 or 3 inches.
Oh.
And if it didn't rain pretty soon, that whole hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres were going to be like no bigger than a lawn.
So this counts as rain.
Oh, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will soak into the soil and keep them going for pretty good.
Because we should get a reprieve of this but then we're also supposed to be getting rain later.
Yeah,
in the
all
week.
next week is going to be like the what is it, Pineapple Express? Yeah, and when you look at it on the weather map, the suckers goes from Alaska to Monterey Bay
Oh, right.
and stretches clear out past Hawaii. So that's that's a lot of rain in one pile.
It's substantial amount of moisture.
Yeah, hopefully half of it'll go to California, and then we'll all be happy.
Well, they'll be happy. They'll be
Yeah.
able to maybe open a
Yeah.
reservoir or two and start drinking again.
Yeah, there might be water skiing by August.
Those poor people.
So anyway, caneberries, good topic for today.
Of course, it's snowing, and we've got a foot of snow out there. Perfect topic for
Yep.
it.
Because the snow's it's all gonna be gone by noon Monday.
And the
Or
plants
Monday
aren't
night.
going to be so angry, you think? They're not
No,
gonna
they'll be just fine. They've had 6 inches or more of insulation on them. They never got under 32. They're fine.
All right.
Yeah, that's another good thing about snow is it. And it'll also help groom your plant. If you got any weak limbs, this will take them out.
Well, I did look at my rhododendron,
Trees and everything
oh
else.
my gosh, I've got the skinny leaves. They're so
Yeah.
skinny and they're drooping. But I'm hoping that that's just the defensive mechanism.
Oh,
and
if
then
you
it's
get
just-
concerned, just go over and hit it with a broom. Smack it up alongside the lower limb. It'll
I'm
be-
awake. I'm awake.
Yeah, see what falls off.
Yeah, nice. So and the caneberries, brambleberries. Where does that term come from? Why do we even?
Well, the limbs, if you will, the canes, have a tendency to, especially blackberries, especially the wild blackberries, they go into a kind of an interwoven mess, and the term bramble is a old European term, and they just called them the brambles.
I see.
So a bramble bush is pretty much anything that's all tangled up and you don't want to get in it.
Thorny. By
Oh,
definition, it's thorny.
Thorny and reaches out and grabs you.
But however, the plants that are defined as bramble are also thornless as well as thorns.
They can be.
Right. So, but it was a
Or
term
tiny
that,
thorns.
for some reason, I had never heard before moving here. I didn't know what a bramble was because we called them blackberries.
Huh.
And
How quaint.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Out here they're called lots of things, and none of them could say on radio.
A lot of them you can't. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But specifically when we're talking about the blackberries, to distinguish between blackberries and a raspberry, the blackberry keeps that white seed holder.
Kind of like its core.
Yeah, the core, the white core, that stays in when you remove
Yeah.
the berry. Whereas with the raspberries, when you pull that off, the white core actually stays
On the plant.
on the plant.
And it's a whole different mechanism. It's like blackberries are considered a composite fruit because each little nubbin on the berry, will contain a seed and be an individual fruit. Same kind of with raspberries and things like that.
Not guaranteed to be the exact same as the parent.
No, not really.
No.
The best way to get exactly the same berry is to go ahead when you prune your canes, restart a couple of them.
Right.
And that's another neat thing about cane berries is you don't have to. You can just dip them in root tone, stick them in the dirt.
You don't even have to get the root tone apparently, because what I did with mine is I just went ahead and just turned them
they're
over
easy
and
to
just stuck them
propagate.
right in the ground. It's as though they want to be propagated that way.
Yeah, they just love it.
Right.
It doesn't hurt them a bit, and they'll start fruiting just right away. That year anyway.
Right, because the new growth that comes up, it's actually that's what next year's growth is going to be. So
Right.
the stuff that you see out there right now, that's not where the fruit is going to come
No,
from.
it'll come on next year's maturity of that cane. Like blackberries, those light green tendrils that they stick out and comes through your neighbor's fence and that kind of stuff. Those are not going to be the berry producers. It's the big boys behind it.
Right, it's the buds that maybe started poking out.
Yeah.
And I will be interested to see, because I also I took some grapes and stuck some cuttings from them in the ground 2 weeks ago. And I'll be interested to see how well we survive with the snow from that. But it's the same premise. You just stick it in the ground, and the plant knows what to do. It just grows the roots
You
from there.
should be okay on most of them
Yeah, sure.
because
These things are tough. These things are. That's why we have the Himalayan blackberry that's so invasive, is because it just spreads.
You know how we got Himalayan blackberries in Oregon?
The Yeti.
No. Yeah, tracked it in on his furry little toe.
Right, exactly.
No, somebody brought him out here as a commercial venture way back in the 18 dark.
Oh yeah, how'd that work
30s.
out? How'd that work
Yeah,
out?
it spread really good. But it's still a good fruit.
No, it's really amazing to see them grow to 12 feet, 15 feet tall, and just
yeah.
like 60 feet wide. And how do you get in there? You
Well,
don't.
when we used to have family blackberry picking outings
Sure.
back in the 50s, Dad would take a tuba-tin with us, about 12 feet long, and he'd just flop that sucker up on top of the berries and walk down through, and next thing you know, you'd have a 4 foot wide
That's
street.
an interesting
And then when he'd
idea.
get those all picked, then he'd go just mash them down.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Ingenious.
Well, I upgraded that to just using the back bed of the pickup.
Well, you use the back bed of the pickup.
Yeah.
I go ahead and use my tractor and just
Yeah?
drive
See,
through it.
Yeah, that would work good. Yeah. No, that was I can remember strapping a couple of tuba tins to the top of the old Buick, and out we'd go.
Nice.
Yeah. it
Because
was-
these are delicious fruits, and
Oh,
there's
man.
only one particular one that though delicious as it is choking the forest, and but we don't necessarily have to talk about that one. We can talk about the ones that are good, that are helpful.
Well, most of these caneberries, they do have some really wonderful antioxidants in them too that are cancer. I won't call them preventatives, but they do boost the immune system.
Right.
I wish I could pronounce that word too.
Immune?
No, it's a particular acid that's in the berries.
Oh, I do not know.
Elysium or something like that.
I see.
Elysium, maybe.
Delicious.
Yeah. But anyway, that is what produces the body's ability to break down cancer cells.
I see.
So it's add it to your diet. Most of the berries, blueberries are good, raspberries, blackberries, are all very good in a healthful sense too.
Right. For their antioxidant properties.
They're not just good on shortcake.
And a lot of these berries only have, because you talk about 375 different varieties, and each one has its own distinct growing, harvesting period, and it's incredible because it can be so short. It's not as though these can be prolonged out over.
No,
a few months.
most of them they do a blossom in the spring, and then they produce fruit all summer, and then it's a one-shot deal. Go pick them or they fall off.
Yep.
And they don't seem to be once they mature on the bush, they don't seem to be really that durable. They don't last for very long. Anyway, if you have any questions on caneberries, we're just getting going. 503 472
435.
503 435 1260. We're here at KLYC Radio, 1260.
That's right. And for streaming, we're at KLYC.us. We're going to take a break right now. This is 1260 AM.
AM 1260 KLYC, and we do want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for being a sponsor of To the Root of It. And we are right now at Recology talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead here in McMinnville. Nick, thank you for sponsoring the program.
Thank you very much.
So you and I were talking just before we started making this interview, was that the weather's been kind of crazy, but we're going to be heading into spring. What's going on now at Recology?
A lot of new things happening. Spring coming up. Hopefully the weather permits us to have a good Earth Day coming up here in mid-April. We will be having discounts, prizes, site tours, different kind of raffles, and everything for you and your family to come out and hopefully enjoy the weather, enjoy the staff, and get some product for your garden and your yard.
So what are you selling right now here in this time of year?
We're still selling pretty much all of our in-yard products. It'll range from anywhere from a rock to all the barks. We have soil mixes, the compost. We're still doing the concrete mixing station services. We still have the blower truck services and delivery services pretty much anywhere in the local community, even some of the out communities as well.
What are your prices?
They're going to range from anywhere from about $15 for the half yards all the way up to the $30, $35 range for full yard.
Now, one of the nice things about having Recology here in McMinnville, it's very convenient to come down and get a truckload. Or how small quantities do you sell?
As far as in-yard pickup truckload, we go all the way down to half yard, and then we go up to however much you want to take at once, and you can come back and make several trips and get as much as you need, or if you're wanting to save a little bit of time, we can go ahead and deliver that right to your doorstep.
And how do they contact you?
Be either through the phone, which is 503-434-1671, or as well, we also have our new website all set up, which is compostoregon.com. It has all of our pricing and on hours as well as our address.
And your hours here at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville?
It's going to be 8 to 4, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday is 9 to 4.
Talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead for Recology Northwest Greenlands, sponsor here of To the Root of It on AM 1260 KLYC.
This is Bruce Huffman from the Hillside Retirement Community. Don't miss the last presentation in our three-part Brain Wellness series. On March 4th at 6 p.m., Dr. Larry Sherman of OHSU will present From Genes to Brains, a dynamic presentation on how our genes and environment influence who we become. Delicious foods will be served starting at 5:30, so call the McMinnville Senior Center at 503-435-0407 to register, and that's 503-435-0407. 0407. And thanks for listening.
Does your auto need a makeover? The Yam Van received a makeover like none I would ever believe was possible at Extreme Auto Spa here in McMinnville. Well, to just name a few things Extreme Auto Spa did to Yamhill County's favorite Yam Van, the old orange paint now shines and sparkles like new. The windows were tinted and also received new gaskets. When your vehicle is at Extreme Auto Spa, it can receive more than the interior cleaned and shampooed, the exterior washed and waxed. Adam and his crew at Extreme Auto Spa provides services for window tinting for your auto, home, and business, spray and bed liners, 3M paint protection film, Northwest sealant protection, water leak detection and repair, as well as foul, odor, and rodent removal. PU and yuck. Extreme Auto Spa is ready to help you spiff and shine your vehicle. Extreme Auto Spa is located at 2940 Northeast Lafayette in McMinnville, and the telephone number is 503-883-0995. Will you do me a favor? Tell them KLYC sent you.
Does knee pain wake you up at night or keep you from doing the activities you enjoy? We can help you. I am Dr. Michael Vesley, and I'm the Medical Director of the Joint Replacement Institute at Willamette Valley Medical Center. Our program has been awarded the Certificate of Distinction for Knee Replacement Surgery by the Joint Commission. It is gratifying to be able to help people enjoy more active and fulfilling lives. If pain from knee arthritis is limiting you, please call me to schedule a consultation at 503-435-6571.
And welcome back. You are listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC.
Snowy morning.
Isn't it incredible?
Yeah.
It's still coming down. It's like it's never
actually
going to stop, right? I think that's what the forecast was, never going to stop.
Not until sometime dark 30 today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started out here about an hour and a half ago or so now. And it's supposed to be light snow.
Light snow is still snow.
Light snow, okay, light flakes just real close together.
It's incredible how dry it is too right now.
Yeah, it's good powder.
I feel my lips just this puckering in word, and it's going to be just a big prune lips by the end of the show.
Yeah, if you got snowshoes, now's a good time to take them down out of the garage rafters and
dust them off.
Dust them off. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, what are you? I mean, because I'm going to go sledding today. I might even put on a snowboard today.
Good for you.
Because I don't have to drive to go get to it. It's right in my backyard.
No, I'm going to go to the Lazy Boy with the fleecy blanket and the dog. I may pick up Mama a paper on the way home, so we each have a crossword, and we're going to vegetate.
Yeah.
This is designated vegetation day.
The Winter Olympics are going to feel like the Winter Olympics.
Yep. Let myself be entertained by NBC.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll see how that is.
Time out.
Well, it's because your little dog is probably incapable of going on a walk in such weather, right?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. That really is not going to happen. I had to shovel out the rock rows to give her a place to whiz.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
to shovel out the rock.
Yeah. Well, I uncovered a small low-growing ground cover I got, so she has a little texture. Anyway, sure as heck, she went right over and sniffed around till she found that plant, and that's where she went, and then back into the house. Yeah, she was done.
Yep, it is a challenge out there. What is not a challenge, however, is the caneberries that we were talking about.
Oh,
those are not a challenge to grow.
Nope.
At all.
Nope. You can take a fresh cane and literally root it yourself and stab it in the dirt, or just stab it in the dirt and
I got some raspberries and some marionberries from the plant sale last year, and essentially the rule of thumb is the first year that you transplant, you're not going to get anything.
Not really.
Second year, because it's building its root system, and at that point, the cuttings have been cut down to nothing. So. Expect in the second year some really great fruit, and I did get some really great fruit after a year.
By about the third year, you'll really start getting.
That's this year. And this year it should be wow. I cannot wait to see what's going on.
You'll get lots of jams and jellies, and just eating it on ice cream
But
stuff.
from the box store, I got these thornless raspberries, and they produce okay, but they also produce these big, thick, round canes, no thorns on them, and completely pain-free to deal with, which is a helpful thing. But
Oh.
the berries that I do get off of it, they're not as full of flavor as I would hope. However, these are really easy to manage. So when we talk about the cane berries and the canes, you've got three types of vines that you
Right.
have. You've got the trailing blackberries,
Right.
and those are the vines that just go on the ground and they're just
Like
spread all over the
tanglefoots
place,
and stuff like that.
and they just keep spreading off that way.
Yeah.
And then you've got the erect, and that's what I'm dealing with the thornless. Is they just stand straight up like they're bamboo almost.
Can you bend them over to a wire or
Oh,
anything?
well, I have bent them over down to the ground, and that is a ginger process because you just want to carefully bend them over but not snap them in half.
Yeah.
And but it's a really great way to propagate them. So I was able to do that, and it's much easier to do that with a thornless product than with those thorned products, because it is though
Yeah.
you can never buy thick enough gloves to handle and to deal with these. Somehow a thorn finds its way into my skin each time I deal with these plants.
I used to have a set of welding gauntlets that I used just for,
And
those.
that worked? Did that,
Yeah.
that really work?
Pretty much.
Oh my
You
gosh.
can still feel one come through once in a while because they're tough.
Yeah, they'll come in.
But, yeah,
Yeah.
for blackberries and roses and things like that. Now I don't have that kind of rose or and certainly no blackberries. But
Thornless is a great benefit.
yeah, definitely.
They're really good.
Right, definitely. I was surprised to find out that there's blackberries and raspberries.
Mm-hmm.
And just about everything other than that is a clone or
A hybrid.
a hybrid. That's the word. They're hybrids.
And it was amazing because I had heard that the genealogy of the Marionberry, which Oregon
Right.
loves
It's
so
long.
much, right?
Named for Marion County. Blah blah blah.
Oh, isn't that's around here somewhere?
Yeah, something.
So anyway,
Over on the other side of the hill.
So
there.
when we look at the genetic chart or the breed of the Marionberry, you go from a raspberry and a blackberry separated, but you've got Tayberry in between there, boysenberry, youngberry, loganberry, dewberry, and you've got all of these things before you get to the Marionberry. And I was just fascinated by that because I had always heard, it's a combination of a raspberry and a blackberry, kind of, because
yeah,
to
but
get
lots
there,
of other ones in between.
right, to get there, you had to get the Loganberry, which is a combination of a raspberry and a blackberry, and then you mix that with a Tayberry and a Loganberry, and then you get an Olea berry, and then you mix that with
Olali berry.
Thank you. All right, Olali berry, and you mix
There
that
you
with
go.
the Chehalem berry, and that's how you get the Marionberry. And,
Huh.
and
Yeah, it's a half a page.
right.
And yet we think of Marionberries as being their own distinct fruit, and they're not.
No, it took a while to get there.
Yeah,
apparently.
those guys worked on that for years and years and years because they still had to have the same development period in between to get another fruit,
And a lot of these that you run into at the nurseries, they're specially cultivated and specially developed, and they've got the patent on them. So sometimes you can run into problems with propagating a patented plant. So you have to check on that.
And the other really interesting thing is that blackberries and raspberries are actually roses. Kinda.
They are roses. They are in and of the same cane family.
Yep,
Yes.
that's true.
So the way you take care of one, you definitely take care of the other. They've got
Pretty
similar
much.
diseases.
Yep.
Yep.
Same black leaf, same full, same rust. Will be on your garden berries or is on the roses out in the front yard.
Black spots. I see black spots.
Yep. But they're fairly durable and they respond well to pretty minor adjustments in their chemistry. They're not like blueberries that have to have a real low pH, acidic pH. Most of the cane berries will grow in a nice normal garden pH.
Anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I have them growing underneath my evergreen growth forest there, and they're just They'll do anything anywhere.
That's
too.
true. They'll grow in dirt or rock.
They'll
They'll grow in the driveway.
They will grow in rock. It's
They'll
absolutely
come right
true.
up out of your parking lot.
And they're so difficult to get rid of. The ones that you don't want,
Yeah.
they're so difficult. And then the ones that I want, for a while, that first year was a little touch and go.
Yeah, there is a process for getting rid of blackberries, the wild ones that are offensive to your property or
Right.
whatever. But it's a long process. You don't just go out and spray them once.
No.
And you have to be very, very careful what time of the year you spray them. You want to, if you're going to use a spray to start killing the blackberries, you have to do it like in September and October
When they're going dormant.
when they're going dormant. After the berries all fall off, the leaves start to turn a little, lighter color. Then you spray them with nasty bad stuff.
Because they're bringing everything into their root system at that point, and they'll take that bad stuff and they'll
Take
go
it
away.
down to the root system, but it'll still take several years.
Wow.
I've even heard of people that take and whack them down and then paint the ends of the biggest green canes with nasty stuff. And like take one of those little felt paint brushes,
Okay.
and just dab along or, spritz them. And it still takes years.
It sounds almost torturous. It's like
It is.
It's like getting personal with the plant right there. It's just poking it with a needle or something.
Yeah, it's much easier to hit them with a Kubota.
Right, exactly. But you're doing that once a year is what I'm
Yeah,
dealing
you're
with.
still doing it every year. Yeah. I don't. Well, even the little new sprouts that come up in the spring, if you can kill those right away.
Yeah, it's a constant fight. And you're right.
Oh, yeah.
When you spray it is very important, but some of these, they are just resilient and they just keep coming back. But the good ones, you have a favorite berry, by the way? Do you have a favorite one of these? Wait, let me name them. You've got the raspberry.
Because I actually do.
You've got the raspberry, blackberry, loganberry, dewberry, phenomenal berry, youngberry, nestberry, boysenberry, tayberry, strahalemberry, olali,
Olaliberry.
marionberry.
Huh. Actually, loganberry is my favorite because they're big, juicy,
Right,
fruity.
those are big, huge
they're-
things, right? Yes.
They're like 1.5 inches, 2 inches long.
It's probably a good call.
They're big.
Yeah.
And they seem to have, in relation to the seed size, it's a little smaller. I mean, they all got seeds in them. But,
Right.
I can remember when my mom would make jelly, I'd be the one responsible to take and squeeze them through the sieve.
Oh, so you
through the
didn't have it. So you
cheesecloth.
made the jelly. You didn't make the jam.
I just mashed the berries.
Yeah, I've never had that luxury when eating any of these berries. Like, I remember picking gallons of the berries, and then my dad making peach cobbler or blackberry cobbler with
Yeah.
it. But there was no sifting of anything. You got every seed in between your teeth. You got it all.
This may surprise you, but I got probably a gallon of frozen blackberries in my freezer right now.
Nice.
May go home. That sounds like something good to do this afternoon.
Oh,
Go home and bake them.
bake cobbler.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Uh,
But anyway, it's about time for a break. You can give us a call at 503-435-1260. This is KLYC Radio. This is Ray and Kyle, and To the Root of It in a snow day.
it's still snowing out there.
Oh, yeah, it's coming down. Hick.
KLYC, To the Root of It, and sponsor for To the Root of It here is Recology Northwest Greenlands, having a facility here in McMinnville. We're talking to Nick Olheiser, the supervisor lead. Now, Recology Northwest Greenlands has undergone a bit of a change in their corporate structure and their name and so on and so forth, but they're still here in McMinnville, still here to provide quality mulch and garden products.
Yeah, absolutely. About 3 years ago, we were purchased by a San Francisco-based company called Recology. Basically, it's just been a rebranding for us in a sense. We've changed a few of our processes that we do here on site. Other than that, everything's the same. We still offer the same services, the same great staff, and the same competitive prices as well.
So if you need something in mulch for your garden, your operation, come down here to Recology. One of the things we're very excited about is April 19th. You're going to have a big event here, and we're going to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be our celebration for Earth Day. We do it every year. I think this is our 6th or 7th annual one. We're going to be having discounts. We'll have site tours. We're going to have raffles and drawings. We're giving away free deliveries. Everything and anything you could want, come on out and come visit us and come see what we have going on.
And To the Root of It on April 19th, we'll be coming to you live from Recology, which is just up the road from the radio station. But one of the things we want to do with To the Root of It, as much as possible, take it on location. Obviously, we want to wait till the weather's warm. But April 19th, we'll definitely be here at Recology, Northwest Greenlands, doing a show. And Ray and Kyle will be here talking about the products they have here and how you can use it in your applications.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be out here. Like I said, we'll go through. We're going to have a few demonstrations, exhibits, and kind of show you benefits to composting and what it does for your soil, and other benefits that you can have around your yard with it as well.
Now, when people talk about Recology Northwest Greenlands, what do you want them to think of as what you provide or the company?
I want them to realize that we are the new face of composting in a sense. This is kind of where the industry is shifting towards the more organics side of it. And I want us to be the front runners, and I want us to be more involved in the community, and I want them to know all about us when they hear our name.
And where are you located? What are your hours?
2200 Northeast Orchard Avenue here in McMinnville, and hours are going to be 8 to 4 Monday through Friday and 9 to 4 Saturday.
Talking to Nick Olheiser and Recology Northwest Greenlands, the sponsor of To the Root of It, right here on AM 1260 KLYC. From the really great beer brewed in the room next door, to the tantalizing menus of pulled pork, Reuben, or try the bangers and mash, local sausage grilled to perfection, served with hand-mashed taters, caramelized onions and peppers. And tomorrow, there may be another surprise on the menu. You've arrived at the Granary District and the Grain Station Brew Works. For lunch, dinner, kick back and watching the game, or enjoying a brew with some friends. You can't beat the unique, historic old barn feeling for taking a break and having a good time. Smell the freshly ground coffee. Enjoy eating meals prepared from the freshest foods. Like Oregon, it's historic, unique, and a fun down-home place to be. Just a stone's throw from downtown at 8th and Alpine in McMinnville. Once you try the Grain Station Brew Works, you'll be back. See you in the barn. Grain Station Brew Works, McMinnville.
Whether it is your rustic cabin at the end of the road or your home with a $1 million view, Rent-A-Center in McMinnville has a price match guarantee on new furniture, appliances, home entertainment centers, TVs, and stereo systems. Your wish list can become reality, and your purchase is as simple with 3 easy ways to buy. You can buy it now with cash, you can buy it on 90 days, same as cash, or you can choose the easy payment options whereby you are already pre-approved and there are no credit checks. Rent-A-Center at 1370 Northeast Baker Street next to the Dollar Tree in McMinnville. It's easy for you to own. Enjoy Rent-A-Center.
Why get in shape? Well, let's talk to some of the folks at Snap Fitness in McMinnville on why they stay in shape and how Snap Fitness helps.
My name is Cully Desmond. They have very good equipment here. I really enjoy their treadmills, high quality equipment. These are some of the best treadmills you can buy. This is a unique treadmill here. The wood weight treadmill that they have here is a very nice treadmill. Workout equipment, weights and bikes and stuff are really nice. I think it's the best gym in town. I actually came from another gym here in town to this gym.
Snap Fitness, 24/7 access, modern equipment, and staff to help you get and stay in shape. Right now, when you mention you heard this ad on KLYC, you get a choice of 2 offers. No enrollment fee and 10% off every month for new members, or pay for 3 months and get the 4th month free with the purchase of a $25 access card. It's a great time to sign up if you're transferring from another gym. Hey, try a 7-day trial pass to see if it's a good fit. Call Michael at 503-379-0065, located on Keck Drive next to Albertsons. Snap Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah, all you have to do is just point to Ray. Ray! There you go.
And Ray, see, Ray is
Yeah.
awake.
Yeah.
Courtesy of the coffee cup.
You feel like making some snow angels by any chance?
Nope.
Not
done that, been there.
Not a way.
Yep, had
not
it
a way.
down,
I'm going to talk you into
had it
that.
down the belt line. Mm-mm. No, sir.
That's a shame.
No. Thoroughly enjoyed when I did it.
Yep.
I do miss skiing, though.
Oh, yes.
And
I plan on taking up skiing again because it's not. I'm a snowboarder, and I started snowboarding when snowboarding started. So it's just something that I've always. And once I started snowboarding, there was no going back to skiing because it's just not the culture of the sport. However, I've got a daughter that I'd like to teach how to ski, so we'll go back to it probably this year.
the grandkids, they know how to ski, and I went up with them not last winter, but winter before last, a couple of times, and you don't forget.
Right.
It really is.
You did not crash into a tree.
Never fell once. The really sad thing was, though, when the kid asks you, what size skis do you want? And you say, well, when I quit skiing, I was on about a 205, 210. And they look at you like,
That's kinda long.
wow,
Is that
you
long?
are old, aren't you?
Because that's long, right?
Yeah,
That's
and they
pretty-
bring you these 135
Right,
centimeter
exactly.
skis, and you go, oh, cool, where's the other half of the ski, you
No,
fool?
no, and you can go backwards in these ones too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And they're up on both ends, and
Yep.
they were fun to get around on, and after about half an hour, I kind of had some style back, and the grandson was starting to go, oh, yeah, okay, attaboy,
Yeah.
But no, I did not fall.
No. Well, don't do it.
No,
No
sir,
matter how
sir.
slow I have to go, I'm not going to fall.
My number 3 daughter told her sister, it's okay to take Dad skiing, just don't let him fall. Don't let him hurt himself.
It's because when I think about skiing, and honestly, I think about skiing a lot, I'm constantly reminded of the people we've lost through the skiing accidents because they've run into trees, and it's pretty unavoidable. And so it's really a scary thing for me because, I mean, I've had one just slip up where I fell and I hit the back of my head because a skier cut me off, and it was right on the ice, and it's just dangerous. So I do think about that kind of thing with skiing.
Well, when we lived in Hood River, we used to go skiing all the time because, like, on Wednesday night was dollar night at Cooper Spur. You know,
That is
sack
awesome.
of donuts and
That is
anyway,
awesome.
But a good friend of mine hit a tree going backwards.
Oh.
And stuck himself right onto the tree with his behind.
Ouch.
And the ski patrol came up and they cut the limb off and left it in him and sent him to the hospital with the limb in his.
Oh my gosh, that's a
derriere.
heck of a story.
35 stitches after they got the limb out. I'm going, oh man.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
We're here to tell the story.
We're here to tell the story.
Wow. Yeah, those are
That
rough
was-
conditions up there.
Yeah, that was ugly. But anyway, we're talking about caneberries this morning and kind of trying to stay away from blueberries and strawberries and stuff like that. We'll do another show on them.
Right, we're just sticking with these blackberries, marionberries, raspberries, and specifically with these ones, we have a class coming up with our Spring into Gardening seminar that's going to be on March 8th at the McMinnville High School auditorium.
Yes, tickets are available through the Extension office on Lafayette, and their number's 503-434-7517. Did I do that right?
You did everything right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is.
And the reason we bring that up is because one of the breakout seminars discussions is going to be specifically on the caneberries.
Yes. Barbara Strick from Corvallis, who is an absolute genius at growing berries.
Oh, yeah.
She's got her PhD in raspberries, I swear.
Wow.
Yeah, or something like that.
Well, it helps. That means that you know everything there is to know about it, a blackberry.
She does.
Yes. Not you. Not you.
Not
you.
me. No. I go for the shiny ones at Safeway.
All right.
Yeah. I don't shroom. I don't.
No. None of that.
Not anymore.
That's a shame. But the breakout seminar or discussion about that particular tickets, like you said, they're available at the Extension office. You can go to extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill, and there's a link to the flyer and the registration form. More details are available there also.
Yes, that's extension.oregonstate.edu/Yamhill. If you get them early, the day of the show, it's going to be $40.
Oh, so you save money by doing this.
Yeah,
ahead
you
of
save
time.
$10 by getting them ahead of schedule, and that does include lunch too.
So besides the caneberries, why don't you just rattle off the other available?
Well, they're going to have a whole hour on blueberries.
All right.
By Bernadine Strict, who is, she's a crop specialist. And then there's going to be pruning small fruit plants, and that's going to be done by Neil Bell. He's a community horticulturalist for Marion and Polk County.
I see.
That place where they name berries.
Right. They name them after themselves.
Yeah, and poke salad. Never mind.
Poke salad. I've never
Poke
heard
salad, Annie. You don't remember? No,
I
never mind.
remember,
Okay.
no.
I digress.
All right.
And then the middle of the program is Vern Nelson, who is the Oregonian columnist for the gardening magazine that comes on Sunday. Neat guy. He's written many books on edible gardens, edible landscapes. He maybe he still does. Everything in his yard was edible
That sounds delicious.
to one degree or another.
Right.
Like even the nasturtiums he'd put on salads, that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. Neat guy, and just a hilarious speaker.
And he's going to be talking about edibles? He's going to be talking about...
he's going to do my favorite grapes in the home garden.
I know what those are.
I'll bet
They're all
there's-
Concord, right?
Nah. No. And then there's going to be a growing tomatoes workshop, and that's going to be done by Alan Weiner,
All right.
who is my garden guru.
Okay.
He's my guru.
Right. He's the hoop master.
He's a definite go-to guy.
Right.
Yeah. And then there's going to be a tomato grafting workshop. And this is something different. It's kind of come of vogue in the last few years, where you take a rootstock of one tomato and you put another tomato on it. And the tomato that you put on it suddenly goes like bananas.
Because the root system is actually meant to spread out and grow more prolifically than maybe the tomato plant or
the
tomato
original
design.
tomato plant size, and suddenly it's got all this root system from this grafting stock going on, and you'll triple your production.
Yeah, I'm
All
so
the
interested.
pictures say that this is what happens.
That is the one that I am so fascinated about. That's the one that I want to see.
And then we'll have Randy Williamson from here in McMinnville. He's going to do tool care.
Uh-huh.
Very, very important for your own safety, for your own functionality, to make sure your tools actually do the job you want them to do.
Right.
I hate shoveling. I
hate it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
And
I have no problems with it now, honestly, because we talked about it last week. As long as you sharpen your shovel, it's not so difficult. And as long as you pick one of the right shovels to do the job with, which was another thing that I learned last year, how to hold the shovel and how to decide which shovel is perfect for the job that you're doing. And that was great.
I got to thinking about my old grandpa Woody, who would hand spade his entire garden.
Mm-hmm.
Would carry a rosin stone in his back pocket.
Just
and
constantly.
every once in a while, he'd just take his shovel and just rosin stone it and then go back to doing it. And that's how he stayed away from my grandma.
Rosin off.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's going to be a great program. It's going to be very, very, and this is kind of like the phase 2. Last year we did basic dirt and compost and mulching and basic garden setup and care. And this year we're going to get more specific into what to do with the stuff you're growing in your garden. So anyway, we're going to take a short break. This is Ray and Kyle at To the Root of It on KLYC Radio, 1260 on your AM radio dial.
We want to thank Recology Northwest Greenlands for sponsoring To the Root of It. It's because of their financial support makes it possible for us to have this program on the radio. We very, very much appreciate it. Talking to Nick Olheiser, who is the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, there is a shift in the industry towards more organics, more naturals, and not chemicals and pesticides and unnatural fertilizers, but getting back to nature, right?
Exactly. Yes, we're trying to get away from the man-made fertilizers that are so often used nowadays. Trying to shift more into the organics and trying to educate individuals on the long-term benefits as well as the short-term benefits of organics. It's not good for just a year; it's good for 10 years. It's helping to restructure the soil, and it's not just providing instant nutrients. It's good in every way.
And it's also a lot safer to handle.
Absolutely, yes. It does not have, like you mentioned, the chemicals, the pesticides in it. So, yes, it's completely organic. Everything out here is OMRI listed, and it's good to go and put directly in your soil.
So come out here with your pickup truck. What kind of containers should people come out? Pickup truck, dump truck, what?
We can do pickup truck, dump trucks, trailers, whatever you have. You can also we do 5-gallon bucket sales if you just need something small for just a little in-house garden or backyard garden that you may have. We can do 30-gallon containers. Whatever you have, we'll make sure we meet your needs.
And phone number, do you have a website or a Facebook page?
Yes, we actually just got a brand new website all up and running with our prices as well as our hours and our address, and that's at www.compostoregon.com.
And again, phone number?
503-434-1671.
And don't forget, April 19th is Earth Day here. We're going to be doing To the Root of It live here at Recology Northwest Greenlands in McMinnville, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Us too. Come on out. Come visit us. We'll have discounts. We'll have raffles, prizes, site tours, exhibits, everything and anything you can think of. We'll be here for you.
What are the hours on Earth Day on the 19th?
It will be 8 to 6 on Saturday.
Well, Nick, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
AM 1260 KLYC, talking to Nick Olheiser, the project lead at Recology Northwest Greenlands. Hey, it's time to head to Harvest Fresh 3rd Street in downtown McMinnville. I don't know about you, but I am hungry, and I know they have good special there. They have healthy food and delicious food. We have on the phone line with us right now, Bob. Bob, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay, Dave. But Dave, I don't know about you, but I'm not hungry. I'm also cold, really cold out there. It's time for good cooking on inside the house, not on the outside of the house for the rest of the week. That's for darn sure, huh? Hey, but I do got to tell you real quick about an item that we have that's brand new here to Harvest Fresh. We actually have fresh buffalo meat ribeye steaks.
Oh.
And the meat manager, he gave me a sample of it the other day, and gosh, the flavor was just impeccable. I mean, I was shocked. He didn't tell me what I was eating first, and I said, "What is this?" Because I don't like lamb. I'm just not a lamb eater, so I'm always hesitant with that. And then he says it's buffalo. I said, "What?" And so I kept chewing it, but it tastes really, really good. So I just want to let customers know out there that we are the only store in town with fresh buffalo ribeye steaks.
Wow.
So if you want to try something new, something different, and I think the calorie intake is very minimal with buffalo meat, if I remember reading something about that. So there's definitely some health aspects to it, but I don't know them all. But we just have that product if somebody wants to come down and try it.
I believe they're low in cholesterol, and it's very healthy for you. It's good meat.
Yeah, I think that is what it was, the cholesterol, exactly. So somebody's got high cholesterol, wants to try something different, something fresh, there you go. There's an item for you. Anyway, for over in produce, which is the most important thing, we have fresh Brussels sprouts this week at $1.49 a pound. We have 5-pound bag russet potatoes at $1.69 a bag. We have heirloom navel oranges at $1.39 a pound this week. We have local Bartlett pears at 89 cents a pound. That's a really good buy. And we still have the fresh bunch asparagus at $2.99 a pound. I mean, it's been really great quality, and it's done really well, and I was able to get that price again for another week, so I went ahead and did that. Over in the organic section, I have a Dr. Oz recommended item, and it's sweet purple potatoes. and I understand they're great for inflammation and a couple other things, but Dr. Oz recommends these to everybody, so we have them. And they're actually grown out of Hawaii.
Wow.
And so they're shipped over from Hawaii, and we have those on ad this week at $2.99 a pound. And then I have 3-pound bag organic Pink Lady apples at $5.49 a pound. And new crop Chilean Red Globe grapes at $5.49 a pound. And then we have organic bunch asparagus at $6.99 a pound. Over in the meat department this week, we have local Carlton Farms pork loin roasts at $3.99 a pound. We have fresh turkey tenderloin at $6.99 a pound. And we have coho salmon at $9.99 a pound. And these are previously frozen cohos. So they're not fresh, but they are fresh frozen. And that's going to wrap it up for this week, Dave.
Harvest Fresh, downtown McMinnville. So you heard it on KLYC.
Hey, stay warm, and everybody come on down. Have a good day.
And you are back right here on To the Root of It.
I got you on stereo again.
That's right. It sounds perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really great. It is still snowing out there in case you don't have a window that you can look outside of.
I'm going back to the lazy boy.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's a good idea. Just real quick, I wanted to touch on a similar experience that we did have going to the grocery store yesterday, because if you did make it outside, everyone that was at the grocery store, they were almost as though this was the end of days, grabbing as much as they could. It was pretty incredible to watch.
Full carts, and then try to get them across the slush out to their car.
Oh, that was so difficult for me because I caught myself doing it after I'm offloading the cart onto the register. I dropped a couple of $100s on all of this. It was incredible.
I got out of there for $43.
Nice, good. And
but please, people, be patient with each other out there. Be patient with the person in the car along beside you, and just remember, this is all going to be gone by Tuesday anyway. So
yeah, don't forget that point, because it's not as though this is the way it's going to be for 4 weeks or something.
Yeah,
like
no. This is not back east. This is not Cambridge.
But it is amazing how the instincts kick in.
Yeah,
in moments like this.
Yeah, how frantic would you be if you've been doing this for 4 months, like they've been doing back in Chicago and Detroit?
Exactly.
You know?
This is nothing.
This has been going on for 4 freaking months.
Yep.
Oh, bless their hearts. I pray for them.
Yep. So you've been listening to The Root of It right here on KLYC 1260 AM. I'm Kyle. That's Ray. Stay warm. Stay cozy.
Thank you for listening to us today, and keep your tools sharp.
KLYC, McMinnville, Newburgh, and Salem.